mean, if they kick us off, they kick us off, you know? Oh my god, what is this? Do that.
Oh my god. Just literally swipe up.
Okay, that did not work.
It's facing me. Hold on. There.
Why she like this? Why she studying? Where's your the voice recorder?
In the tools.
Got it. Hello friends. Welcome back to Tarot and Tea. It is me, your favorite Southern Witch, Kirsten Renee. And I have a friend today. Hi friend.
Hi, friend.
Hi friend.
Hi, friend.
Cute. Tell everybody who you are.
Who am I?
Who is she?
My name is Jada.
No, the Jada Cato. The Jada Cato. Please understand.
My name is Jada. And we met 4-H.
We did. And you forgot that we were friends.
Well,
You did.
we can talk about this during shadow work, but I just associated so much during 4-H. I don't remember a lot.
That makes sense though. You did a lot. You did a lot.
I was also doing a lot. And so I hit her up on Twitter one time and was like, we should be friends. And she was like, I literally already know you. Like,
We can hang out whenever you want.
right.
Whenever
But yeah, I wear many hats. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm a voice teacher. I'm an intuitive healer. I do Reiki, yoga, readings. What else am I? Oh, I wear
You
a lot
do
of hats.
everything.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Check me out.
Check her out.
Shameless plug.
She's literally one of my favorite singers
Like
in the entire world. Like, when I
actor.
say-
I am an actor.
oh yes, what is it? Just a Southern thing?
It's a Southern thing.
It's a Southern thing.
Yeah.
You'll probably seen her face all over the internet.
Yeah.
Hello, new friends. Welcome. It's another episode of Tarot and Tea with me, Kirsten Renee, and my friend, the Jada Cato. So normally here at Tarot and Tea, I like to start with, a little tarot pull for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's Wednesday, I'm feeling like we need to have a quick check-in before Mercury retrograde shows up for us in a few days. And like, if you know, then bitch, you know. But I feel like we should just talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're yelling.
Maybe we should talk about it in context of everything else going on astrologically because
We got a lot of doubles. I saw that last night on the chart that we've got a lot of doubles. Like we've got, I think, 3 planets that are in Taurus right now. 2 in
the sun's
Aquarius.
in Taurus.
The moon's in Taurus.
The moon's in Taurus. The moon, I think, moved into Gemini yesterday. And Mercury is in Gemini, will be retrograde in Gemini.
Okay, can we take a?
We're going into Gemini season.
Can we just take a quick sidebar to that? Mercury and Gemini, right? Let's talk about it. Because that can go one or two ways. You can either hang or you can overextend yourself and blow up. And
It is an intense energy. It's a very communicative energy, and if you don't stop and think before you
That's
speak,
it.
you can get yourself in trouble.
Exactly. So please be mindful of how we choose to.
That's what Mercury retrograde's about in general.
I agree. Love, understanding, communication. And like real communication, not like no topical shit.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you feel?
Like
Period. So,
what you got going over there?
I've got the Queen of Wands reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed.
Oh, it's the Ten of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Is she on her phone?
She's on her phone.
I'm on a social media cleanse right now.
That's what I mean.
It's really hard. I find myself just picking it up.
And just like
Just like
scrolling.
that, yeah, just mindless scrolling.
You know what that reminds me of? TikTok. I think
Yeah.
that's what TikTok is. I feel like TikTok is a portal.
It
And
literally
when you're in that hoe, you're in that hoe. So that's why I've turned off all of my notifications.
Yeah.
So that I don't even have to see anything.
Right.
And then I give myself a limit of like, okay, it's 15 minutes. You set out a timer. Once that timer's off, you're off.
Right.
Yeah, I have to like catch myself.
Control
on
portion.
TikTok, Because I will literally sit there and scroll for like hours, and like it feels like 15 minutes. Like, what?
And then 6 hours have gone by and it's time to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
Complicated. I don't know, I feel like with this Queen of Wands, it's definitely like a, hey, don't forget to like tune into yourself right now. Like, what are your needs? Do a check-in. Where we at? How we feeling? You know?
What lights the fire in us?
Mm-hmm.
Not the fake social media fire.
But like the real, raw, creative fire.
Mm-hmm.
What fills your soul? What fills your cups? Because I feel like in tarot, whenever we talk about, you know, like fulfilling ourselves, it's always, well, you know, we start with the cups. We start with that, you know, emotional energy. But realistically, the wands are also an emotional suit. It's like, what do I want in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna identify that?
Passion.
It's passion. It's passion. And love of self and like your community and other people. What you get?
Well.
She gonna say something you don't watch.
I am. And I don't even know, don't tell me. I couldn't tell if this was the moon or whatever. But the message in true Gemini fashion, because there's 2 full moons here, and we're going to have a full moon in Sagittarius next. And it's like, one part of us is ready to take this like leap of faith, right? Like this first step, we're in this energy of going with the flow and being really heart-centered and moving from our heart. But this other part of us feels like we don't deserve it. And I think it stems from your childhood.
Self-sabotage! Come on, Jada Cato!
Why did you just read that?
Bro, when I tell you my favorite reader is sitting right next to me, like dead ass.
The 6 of Cups, it's like, go back and reclaim your inner child, because, and with this candle lit, it's like you may feel like you've gotten past. Healing is not linear, and it really does never end, so you're always going to have more to do, but it's like you're doing all these steps to receive something, but you don't know how to receive in general. And so it's like when you look in the mirror, you see a different, like you don't see your true worth. And so it's like 2 parts of you, right? And that's Gemini. And so you have to go back and reclaim the whole of yourself and give your inner child what you should have gotten.
Absolutely.
Why were you just yelling at me today when I was like, when Danielle was like, I'll come over and take care of you, and you're like, and I'm like, no, I like to be alone when I'm sick, and you're like, shut up and let this girl take care of you.
Exactly.
Like,
people want to care for you, so let them.
This is definitely a time to receive. It's like you can want it all day long, but can you let yourself have it?
Well, see, that's where we sabotage every time. Because it's like we call shit in, and it's like, you know what, I want the bigger bags, I want the recognition, I want the glory, I want what I'm deserved. But the real thing is, do you even feel like you deserve it?
And what you're saying is God's source, like, I don't need you, I got it. This is good, where I'm at's good. I want something different, but I'm not willing to make space for it. So what message are you sending out? Like, that's 2 conflicting vibrations.
But shadow work, I feel like I was born into shadow work. I feel like this cycle of my life
Aren't we so blessed?
Aren't we so blessed? Right? Because like I always tell people, in my past lives, like the most recent life that I remember having was me living in the 70s and living this very like wild, free, just, I'm pretty sure I was like a triple Sagittarius in my big 3. Like, bitch, it was a lot of just chaos, and hence why I died of cocaine overdose.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But here we are. So like, you know, Goddess was like, all right, baby, I'm gonna send you back in, but I need you to really learn this lesson this time. And here we are.
And now you're an Aquarius.
And now I'm an Aquarius. With a Sagittarius penis. Ultimate punishment. You know everything, but you know nothing at the same time. Life is complicated to be an Aquarius, though.
You understand the vastness, but intimacy, you're like,
that's so
wait.
Just don't look at me.
I don't want to be perceived.
I don't want you to know me. You do not know me and don't think you know me. I think that's not, you know, I actually realized that this week, right? I realized that my issues with like authority comes from people feeling like they know me. But realistically, like, bitch, I'm real transparent. You get what you get. So how can I be mad with what I'm projecting?
Mm-hmm.
I've had to have a lot of self-reflection time this week.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of self-reflection time, which is fine. You're supposed to. That's part of the journey.
It's all of the journey.
Shadow work, it's heavy. And it's hard. But it's also so rewarding.
Very rewarding.
Very rewarding. Because you come out on top. Like, you
Period.
know yourself. Right? Like, the same way, like, in the same sense of, like, you know, people, I'm very transparent of how I am, but it's also because you can't tell me shit about me. Because I know me. You know? Like, I know how I am. I know how I do things, but I also know that I can stand to learn a lot. And how I relate to people.
Who you are right now is not going to be who you are
Mm-hmm.
in like 10 minutes, probably.
Always get enlightened. What's your journey with shadow work been like?
So, I can't even remember what aspect it is in my chart, but I remember when I saw it, I was like, that makes so much sense. Because I've learned so many life lessons and gone through so much of my ascension at the end of romantic relationships. That's where I get my life lessons from. And that whole cycle of life was just so insane. And looking back on it, now that I like know what I know, I'm like, oh, that obviously makes so much sense. Like, look at my parents, right? Like, look at my childhood. And I don't think I understood, like, the depth of, like, how much we absorb as children. Because you think, like, or at least I did, like, how much could I even, you know, whatever. Like, but the energy, and children are so much more observant than we even know. So it's a lot of, and just like breaking through church trauma too, it's a lot of going through, if you haven't read the 4 Agreements, highly recommend. It's a lot of going through and saying, this is my current belief. Do I agree with it? Why or why not? Do I want to change it? Do I want to exchange it? Does it serve me anymore? But like, how many freaking beliefs do we have? Like,
right.
So it's just constant. And then you can't expect to just throw out years of conditioning because you read one book, you know? And who was it yesterday? I will remember, but she said, like, maybe it was Glennon Doyle, who's also an amazing author. It's like a continual journey. Like, that's all of life. It's not like we're gonna wake up one day and be like, I'm a grown up and everything's great and blah blah blah. Like, it's just an everyday thing. That's just the human experience.
I think that's the thing, is like we reach an age where we're like, okay, I'm just supposed to know shit.
No, that's a lie.
It's a lie. My 5-year-old nephew told me the other day, I was like, what's it feel like to be 5? He said, I just know stuff. And that's that. I just know stuff.
Period.
Yeah, like, what stuff do you know? Stuff. That's it. That's all you need
I
to
know what I know.
I know what I know, and that's all
And
I can give you.
I don't know what I don't know.
Right. And that's all I can give you in this moment. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
But I also think, too, as, like, adults, we forget that, like, we also have to parent our inner child every fucking day.
I was like, happy Mother's Day to me.
Thank you! Happy Mother's Day to me!
For reparenting myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job, sweetie.
This is like reparenting yourself.
Yes.
Reparent yourself. Oh my god, and it's so hard because you have to find context for the kind of parent that you do want to be.
That's it.
Right? It's like,
That's
okay,
it.
I know what I don't want to be, then what do I want to be? And I find a lot of inspiration from TikTok, like gentle parenting on TikTok, and it's about their children, but I just do it about myself. You know, like, have you ever seen those videos? They're mostly in response to people saying that they want to like whoop their kids or whatever.
Oh, yes.
And
I don't like that.
I'm on gentle parenting TikTok because I have no children except for myself. And
But that's how you learn how to parent yourself.
It's literally how I'm learning how to reparent myself, and I'm so much nicer to myself and now other people because I have other tools. And that's the thing about shadow work. You're gathering in the tin of anything. You've gathered your tools. Now what are you gonna do with it?
Literally this. It's like,
Get off the phone and go do some work.
get off the phone and go do some work. Do something. You've got all these ideas, all these
passions, talents. Like, God
Literally.
didn't put you here to
sit down.
scroll on TikTok. And this is coming from someone that freaking loves TikTok, but like, We have to, like, especially in this new moon energy, it's like getting back to your purpose. Like, why are we here on Earth? And how are we living that truth, like, every single day? Life can be... Quantum Cassie on Instagram says, because I know the first thing you said was, like, shadow work is hard and blah, 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 which is, for me, was really true. And she says, it's whatever you want it to be.
Yep.
It can be as easy as, like, as willing as you are to let go and open yourself up and receive something else. Like, it can be that easy. But I'm super stubborn and controlling.
Same. When you got Leo placements.
Well, it's funny.
hard.
I'm an Aquarius and I want to be perceived because I am a Leo and obviously I'm in show business. But, like, I don't like being perceived. It makes me very uncomfortable. But, like, all I am is perceived. Like, I can't really go to the grocery store sometimes. Like, it gives me massive anxiety.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Especially in, like, this... okay, sorry to, like... Glennon Doyle doesn't pay me, but I'm obsessed
No, we
with her.
laugh. It's fine.
She just started a podcast called We Can Do Hard Things, which is a part of her book Untamed that I read this past year and, like, changed my life. And I listened to the podcast on the way here, and she talks about that, like... She says maybe anxiety, like, yes, it's, you know, talk about mental illness, and that's a great place to start, but also it's, like, realizing, opening your eyes and realizing that the Matrix exists. Like, she saw a note from her son that said, went for a bike ride, be back soon, and she had a panic attack. She's like, something's wrong with him. And I was like, I do that all the time.
All the time.
Like, I just freak out because, but that's true, like, anything could happen at any moment.
But that's not our business.
But it is.
But is it?
Like, she's like, but we send our kids on bike rides anyway, and we send them to school, and we get in cars and drive down the road and pray that no one hits us, you know, like, it's so true, and that gives me so much anxiety that I worry through, but literally we can't control anything.
I feel like that's why I pray so much. Oh, I realized today that my form of, like, self-care is prayer. Because, like, for some people that looks like chanting, some people it's yoga, or it's, like, meditating. Mine is just deep, unfiltered prayer. Because I feel like when I pray, those, like, that anxiousness, that worry, that, like, initial, like, oh, this is too much. It's like, okay, first of all, calm down. Relax. Let's have a board meeting.
Period.
It's like all my ancestors come together, we sit at the table, and we're like, okay, baby, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How can we fix this as a whole?
I'm also realizing how my relationship with my parents affected how I view God.
Oh, amen.
Like, God, I'm just realizing, like, recently that God doesn't want to punish me. Who knew?
Who knew? Because truthfully, I feel like a lot of people think that, like God wants to punish, or like what, you know, God is what you believe in, wants to punish you. But realistically, like, no, baby, we punish ourselves.
People project punishment onto God because they don't feel worthy of forgiveness.
Oh man, wait.
Let's
Let's sit in that
in the background. Well, yeah, let's sit in that.
Let's sit in that.
People project a lot of negative traits onto God because they don't feel worthy of a God that truly unconditionally loves them. Because they were never shown that love in context on earth.
I say, yeah.
And, like, everything's relative, right? It's hard to imagine a God that doesn't have the traits that we see in our lives.
Right.
Because we don't know literally anything else.
Right.
But what I do know from personal experience and from time is that, like, God is for us. And, like, we are not alone. Like, I feel like that is something that is tried, true, tested.
Right.
Anything else, we can have a great theological discussion about.
I agree. I agree. I think a lot of times when, at least from my own, like, personal experience, like, when it comes to my, like, need for control, I have to remember that my main mission in life is to submit myself fully. Right? Like, service. You cannot be a master
divine
without being.
You cannot.
Say
You
it.
cannot serve two masters.
Come on.
That was about yourself.
Yes. You cannot serve two masters.
You cannot serve God and money is the line after that. Or no, and what? Those might be two different ones. But you cannot serve God and money is one, and then it's like, for you will. Oh no, it's all one. For you will love one and hate the other. That's crazy.
But then I think when you realize that God resides within us,
All of us.
all of us.
That's also why people project stuff onto God, because they're in the illusion of separateness.
But we are one. We are whole.
That when I get in my ego, I'm in the illusion of separateness.
When I get in my ego, that's Big Devil.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We love her. Don't get me wrong.
She sticks up for us, and she's so fun, but she's also.
I gave her own Twitter just because she needed it.
Period.
Period.
No, she's nuts.
She's insane. Insane. But we love her.
Listen.
Capricorn.
I want to say mine's in Virgo, but that could be a lie.
My Lilith in Capricorn is the reason why I'm such a spicy bitch.
I love that.
Like, that's the best way I can describe it. I'm a spicy bitch with a little flair. Like,
That's true.
like, ooh, that's a lot, but I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Feeling it.
Let's see.
Checking in on Insta. How are we doing? Drop an emoji if you're feeling frisky and lovely.
This makes sense. My Lilith is in Gemini.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Destined to be great. And not gonna put up with anybody's shit.
Oh my god, this is so Atlanta. This reminds me of freaking high school.
Was this your song?
This whole vibe, this whole era.
Bringing back the memories.
Right.
The good vibes.
Right.
10:15.
Oh, my phone hasn't changed over. I was like, it's 9:15.
And she's like, no. But yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, especially like when we're talking about Lilith signs, a lot of times people dismiss their Lilith signs.
I used to.
I love her.
It was when I started healing, like doing inner wound healing, divine feminine healing my femininity, because when you are traumatized, you go into the hyper masculine, right? This shield, this wall.
I'm protecting myself.
Right. So going into that, I decided to look a little more into Lilith, and a lot of women in scripture in general, like we were talking about Mary Magdalene, and how they like tried to downplay her influence by calling her a whore, right?
Don't even get me started on Mary, because like the books I've been reading.
I know.
The OG disciple. I said what I said. I don't care. Like
She was the OG
right hand.
Bonnie Clyde, ride or die,
rolled for her man.
I'm a stick beside him.
Hello. She said we going where?
I'm a stick beside him. When everyone's freaking out, Jesus, where are you going? Blah blah blah. She's like, guys, he's gonna be like. She's the only one that got it.
She's like, babe's going for a minute. He's gonna go make that bag and he'll be back. Like that. She's like, I'll see you when you get home. Here's a snack and a picture of me, because don't forget me. You know?
I don't know if they had pictures.
They did. Someone drew it.
With weapons.
Baby.
On a tablet.
Yes.
A stone tablet.
You knew they had artists back then. Don't play. I went to Pompeii. I saw. They used to draw penises on the walls.
Oh, wow.
They did. There's like dicks all over Pompeii. It's weird.
Weirdos.
It's fucking weird.
God.
It's really, really weird. But yeah, I think Lilith, the story of Lilith always gets so misconstrued.
Mm-hmm.
And people are always like, well, I don't think she existed. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why is it so far-fetched to believe that somebody chose to leave this life?
I mean, there's arguably equal amounts of evidence for Lilith as there is the Christian Bible's Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
You know, like, don't get started.
No, get started. Get started.
You know me and the Bible.
I know we like the Bible.
We do like the Bible, but I like to be real about what I'm reading.
Thank you. Comprehending.
I like to be real about what I'm reading. I'm not going to pretend like the Gospels weren't written thousands of years after Jesus' life. I'm not going to pretend there's minimal evidence for Jesus' life.
Right.
I'm not going to, I believe it because it resonates with me. And that's,
Mm-hmm.
like...
It's real.
Prove it.
Prove it. Yeah, prove it.
Go.
Prove it.
I mean, every single religious text was found in some similar way. You know, it's passed down orally and then written and then blah, blah, blah. But no, how can you ever say that one has more validity over the other? Like, did you just hop up and chat with God real quick? Like, how freaking in your ego do you have to be
Thank you.
believe that you know the truth of the universe?
You, Amy, are human. You're human. Yes, we are capable of all things, but baby, don't get it twisted.
You can, and that's not to say you don't have your beliefs, like whatever resonates with you, but good God, let's not project it onto the world.
But I feel like too, people always forget there is so much ego in spirituality. And even as someone who is a spiritualist, like working wise, like I had to realize one day that baby, the reason why you're good at this is because one, you recognize that the ego is real, and two, you're a little narcissistic.
No, we all like just a little bit. You have to have some amount of ego's not bad.
Ego's
it's what
not
makes
bad.
us eat and drink water and not fucking. Sorry,
You can mess. We can
and
here.
not like sleep on the street if you don't have the option. Like
Right.
ego protects you, it keeps you alive. But I don't know if it's meant to make all of your decisions.
You gotta find the balance.
Right.
You gotta find
Which
the
brings
balance.
us back to Gemini season. And a lot of people, like the same thing is happening in the spiritual community that happened in the church. It's like prosperity gospel. You can get this. You can get money. You can have whatever you want. It's like, let's not forget, you didn't even get yourself here.
Thank you.
You didn't make anything on this planet.
Thank you.
You didn't do anything. You have been given the blessing of life. You are not creator, you are creation. It's about the spirit.
It's about the
And when it
spirit.
gets super conflated with and of course, like when you're in tune with spirit, things are gonna flow with you. There's nothing wrong with material 3D abundance. But like when you're serving that, when you're chasing that, talking to myself too, like that is always when I get out of alignment.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. Every time.
Because you're not trusting.
it's like I know best.
My security's in this money. Is it?
Let
Because
it go
that money can be snatched.
And will be in bills.
Period.
But we're grateful for those two.
Like, money's literally not even freaking real, bro. What are you gonna do when the Matrix falls? There's no more money.
What are you gonna do?
Where are you gonna chase then?
What's your
Oh
next
my
word?
God! Do you watch? I know you do. Queen Cup.
We love Queen Cup.
She said.